because 10 times out of 10, you're always like this throughout your day. Okay. And probably not in the most ideal conditions either.
And I'm sure you guys have talked liability and everything else. I mean, it's coming down to a fight, and I do something like, I mean,
I'm gonna hit you real hard.
everybody knows. That would
Just
step
because you
back
made
and they're
that
just
move,
gonna
I'm
go,
going to hit you really hard.
Shoot,
You look ridiculous right now.
Actually, you're gonna relax because I'm probably be laughing. I'm like, dude,
I'm gonna buy you a beer, man, so don't hurt yourself.
Just because you look like an idiot, I'm going to buy you a drink. The
But
Kami's
don't
are
play what you
postures that you started. Let's put it that way. So Hicho, Hira, Ho, you don't start in them. You don't. They are transitional positions that transfer from one to another at a certain point in time.
Be it a 0 point, this is probably the best 0 point you got. This looks like, oh God, I mean, you sit there and add a little tremble to it,
In your training, you're going to discover, you're going to stop and take that pause, and you're going to be like, oh crap, I'm in an Ichimonji. Cool. So that's where you're going to find those postures. Just because you see them in the book doesn't mean that you start and end it. You don't.
As we began to learn this, looking at the next step, and we'll go slow just so they can see the mechanics behind this. As the motion came in, I want to be able to judge the distance, okay? Curly don't know what distance that punch was, just visually and everything else, because we trained together. But if he wasn't somebody that I trained together, as he comes in, I'm going to step back and prejudge, but I'm going to be feeling as this comes in. I'm going to step back to where I need to be. At first, it may be like this. Okay? That's great. As I get a little bit better, I may bring it here. You may even tag me a little bit. As it gets to be a little bit better. Okay? I want this.
This sucks right now because I'm already falling forward. Because when I make contact, my body committed behind that strike, and I'm like, I do one of those numbers, and that's where I'm like, ah, shit.
I don't know if you guys can see my structure. It just went whoop, and that's all it did. The eyes stayed focused on target wherever it was that I would have been looking. They didn't shift. Now, granted, that's from a forward incoming. I mean, if it's cross, it's going to be a little bit different. You're going to get some eye shift. Okay? But by doing this with the Kukan no Tate, as it comes in, I'm able to determine where he's at just by feeling here. I'm not drawing him or anything else, which you can play with drawing or pushing or lifting or whatever.
You see that? Just the subtle differences of he just moves his body a little bit. Look at my knees. It starts to shift. So he's already breaking my structure down. Right here. He's already manipulating me. Look at this.
Would this work if someone jabs at you and it's a lot faster?
We'll cover that in a hot moment.
Yes, we're getting there.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
So what I want you guys to
Get this
do,
down first.
okay, is I want you to now look at judging distance. Okay? If you get clipped once or twice, okay. Keep this at a reasonable speed. Don't kill each other.
Yeah,
Okay.
don't kill each other.
But judge your distance. But I want you to see how close you can get. If you get a little tap, it's only going to be whatever. But you're reaching up and you're just lightly touching. You're not guiding it to go by your head. You're just trying to guide it right to the chin. Try to get as close as you can, or even just let it touch here. Because even if Carlito extends, I'll trade for that.
And notice that when I'm training as the uke, I'm also training on my side. I'm not just going, okay? Even though I'm not blasting him physically, I got the intent of killing him. So you have to learn how to train that feeling inside on how to kill someone.
Yes.
It's kind of hard to put into words if the physical action.
You know what we're talking about.
You know what
they
you're talking
say I look like that all the time.
So, go slow, go light, but have that intent to kill him.
I'm going to have you look at one thing here. Don't pay attention to this arm. I'm purposefully keeping it out of the picture right now because I want you to focus on this. In reality, my hand would be right up here. Okay? But I want you guys just to look at this piece for judging distance right now. Okay? Know where it's at. You can put this other hand up there if you want. That's great. It's a good practice to get into. But for demonstration purposes, don't, do what I'm saying, but don't do what I was doing. Okay? So, just look at this piece, see how close you can judge to getting right here. Okay? Here is actually ideal. Because he's leaning into it just a little bit, which is awesome. Because now his weight is totally dependent upon
I'm depending on him to keep me up. I'm depending on him so I can survive.
Okay?
And that's not a good position for you as the uke, but for your opponent, that's what you want to do. Is have your opponent rely on you to keep him alive. Okay, try that.
Okay, if you got dentures, take them out. If you're going to have dentures, go ahead, play.
Man,
are.
Go slow, but have that intent. Go slow.